Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. You saw me do the unboxing, so now we're going to do some tests on these lights. I'm out here on an old abandoned runway. Unfortunately, it's only 700 meters long. It's the longest place I could get to do a test like this. So I've whipped up a little steel frame. I've got the lethal lights mounted here. I've got the laser, or so I should say the King's lethal lights, the King's laser LED spotlights or driving lights, and then these two that I've had on my car, which are the cheap $70 eBay unbranded version that you pick up. Now I've wired them all up and I found out that the plugs that are on these lights are called a disused connector. I'm unsure on how you say that. You can buy them on eBay or other places. I have wired them up. Now I would not recommend using this wire if you're going to wire them into your car. Make sure you use a wiring harness. This is just for testing purposes because we're not going to have them on for super long periods of time. Now we come up here, we've got switches so we can individually turn each light on and off. Now we're going to do a tong test, show you what they are drawing, what current they are drawing, and then we're going to hit them on and we're going to go for a bit of walk up the runway. I've got measured distances all the way up the runway and we're going to see how far these lights actually shine and which one is the best. As I said, I would not wire them up like this. I don't have a fuse in the system. It's just purely for this test. I can rip it off easily. So we've got our tong tester on here which tests the current flowing through the wires. So first we're going to turn on the lethal lights are drawing 11.16 amps. Let's turn on the King's laser lights and they are drawing 13.4 amps. We'll turn them off. And now we'll try the cheap eBay lights and they are drawing 9.16 amps. So there you go, that's what to expect current draw from each of these lights. So I've made this rack up so that it simulates them being at about bull bar height, same distance, and we can pick it up and move it to line up each set of lights on the car as we go, just like that. That way we get a simulation of what they would be like to drive in. I'll show you some shots from in the cab later on and a shot from in the roof so you get a beam spread so you can see what it is. Now I will not be using my normal lights. That's why I've wired them up this way so that we can do this test purely on the spotlights or driving lights on their own just to see what they will do. So I'm sitting in the car here just to give you a shot of what it looks like. I don't have my headlights on the car or any other lights. This is just the 7-inch King's lethal driving lights. So you can see they're pretty impressive. We'll go for a walk shortly and just see what they look like up that runway. You can see all my markers slowly up there. Right up the end you can see the reflective signs. Okay, we have here the King's 7-inch laser driving lights. The beam is a bit narrower than the lethal driving lights, but it is shooting a heck of a lot further up the road there from the look of it. Okay, these are the 7-inch eBay lights that I've had on my car for quite a while. They have a nice wide spread and they are shooting quite a way up the runway there. I can see the two reflective signs way up there in the distance. Be interested to see what these are like when we get up the runway. Okay, I'm standing up on the roof of my car here now to give you an idea of the spread of these lights. You can see how wide the beam is. This gives you an idea of the sort of spread that you get on the road. There is no other car lights on my car. They have a nice wide beam spread and they are shooting a fair way up the runway there. So what we have here at the moment is the King's 7-inch lethal driving lights running. Now you can see I've placed a heap of markers up the runway. They're at 50 and then 100 meter, or 50 meters, then 100 meter intervals after it. I have placed a give way sign up there and right at the end of the runway at 700 meters away, you can see a little tiny speck there. I can see it with my eyes. I don't know about the camera, but I can just see the reflection of the no entry sign that I placed up there. Now you can see way up the end, they are casting a tiny little spot and shooting it right up the road. They are a pretty impressive light, I will say. So these are the lights that I've been running on my car, the ones I picked up off eBay. Straight up, I can see reflection down the back there. It's not as bright. They are a much shorter beam. They don't shoot anywhere near as far. They seem to be a wider beam also. I'm standing here at my 100 meter mark. It is very bright. Looking that way, I can still see a lot of light. Now those are the King's laser driving lights at 100 meters. Looking at them, it's like looking into the sun. Looking down that way, I am struggling to see now because I was looking into the sun. They are extremely bright. They are still lighting up like massively here. You can see me. There is a lot of light from these lights. We'll just take a look back at the sun. Standing out here at 100 meters, you can see me. I can see the ground. Looking that way, everything is still lit up. So these aren't quite the sun, but not bad. Okay, we're here at the 200 meter mark, and these are the lethal driving lights, 7-inch lethals. They're doing pretty good at this distance. Looking up the road there, I can still see. Okay, so we're at 200 meters. We have the King 7-inch LED laser driving lights on. There's a massive amount of light. It is slightly more orange, and you can see as I move, it changes colour a little bit. That's got the lens bulb in the middle. Looking down the runway, the sign is reflecting even brighter now that we're getting further away from the car. You can see my sign here is reflecting, like it is white, it's non-reflective. Down the road there, you can still see that it's lighting up at 200 meters. Okay, we're standing here at 300 with the King's 7-inch lethal driving light. Now I'm just going to flick my sign around. I borrowed these ones from work. They're non-reflective. It's a workman sign. It gives you an idea of how bright it actually is here. So with the red that absorbs and the white. Okay, now we have the King's 7-inch laser LED driving lights. And I just had to run back to the car because we found an issue. Now these are going to have to be aimed pretty good. They have a very round, small spot. And we turned them on and we were standing here and we didn't have much light. So we had to run back, get them aimed right. Now you can see here that I can actually see there's that much light coming from these lights. I can see here a rippling effect on the plastic, on my white core flute, of the air, the difference in the air temperature. So I'll spin that around. Now they put out a massive amount of light, but it is in a very, very tight beam. Okay, we're here at 300 meters. We have the eBay driving lights on, the cheaper version. I'm still lit. My piece of stuff's still lit. Unlike the LED laser lights, I can't see the rippling of the air. And there's our nice red sign with our stop man on it. Okay, we're here at 400 meters. We've got the giveaway sign here. From my eye, I'm not quite sure how the camera's picking it up, but from my eye, I can see this giveaway sign clear as day at 400 meters with the lethal driving light. We've got a white pattern there, and as before I was saying with the other ones, I can see the patterns in the air there. You can see it's a slightly orange, warmer light. It is a massive amount of light here. You can see the white there is really shining up, and looking back towards the car is still like looking at the sun. These are a super bright light but have a really narrow beam. There is enough light here. I could read a book just. I think I'm going to drop them after this point because I don't think the camera's picking them up. They're almost at their limit. They are lighting up the tree here just behind me a little bit and a bit of the grass, but I think this is about the limit, 400 meters for the eBay driving lights. Okay, so we're here at the 500 meter mark. I painted them on the ground earlier today, and I'm not sure how good the camera is picking up the lights at this distance. These are a pretty impressive light. These are the King's 7-inch lethal driving light, fairly new light out. It's nice and bright there. If I turn it around, I'm lifting this up because we're coming over a slight dome in the runway and the lights down low are getting shadowy. So here with my naked eye, I could still read a book here quite easily. Okay, we're here at the 500 meter mark. Just turned the laser lights on, the King 7-inch laser LED driving lights, and they are amazing. They've just blown the other lights out of the water at this distance. You can see here, nice and bright. I could quite happily sit here like this and read a book in this light. They are phenomenal. phenomenal. It's still like looking at the sun down there. When I look off the end of the runway, I can see a big patch of trees down there where I can still see. I could actually sit here in a car with the lights off and that behind me and drive down this road. These are a phenomenal light. So we're here at 500 meters. I have decided to do another one because if I hold the sign up here, I can still see the sign with the eBay lights. So they are doing pretty impressive for an unbranded light. Okay, so we're here with my marker at 600 meters. That is 600 meters from the car. These are the lethal 7-inch King's driving light. I could still read a book here quite easily with these things. So we're here at 600 meters. We have the 7-inch King's laser driving lights. Now, once again, they're phenomenal. They're probably about as equivalent as high beam on my Nissan Pulsar at this distance. I can see the rippling, not sure how the camera's picking that up, but you can see the rippling in there. That's because we're coming so far from the car and it's a cold night and we're getting the shimmering of the different temperatures in the air that are coming through. Now if I put this, I'll turn it round first so you can see that. Very, very easy. I could read fine print at this distance in a newspaper quite easily. Looking down the runway there behind me, I can see on the trees, I can actually see quite clearly on the trees. I can see the end of the runway and see it from here, which is another 100 meters away. The sign that we've got there, and off the end of the runway into the trees, down into the gully. They are an absolutely amazing light, but they are a very pencil beam. If I go off either side at this distance, I go into darkness very, very quickly. So at 600 meters, the eBay lights are surprising me a little bit. I thought we were going to drop them a couple of 100 meters back, but I can still see here. They are not very bright. They are still putting light here at 600 meters. If I put this down, I'm not going to, yeah, let's turn it around. It's pretty dark. Okay, we're here at the end of the runway. Now, that's 700 meters from my car, all the way down the other end of the runway there. Coming up for the last 100 meters there, I was finding that it was quite easy to walk with these lights turned on. Now, I will say tonight is a cloudy night, so we're not getting any ambient light from the moon affecting this test. Now, if I hold this up, once again, because the runway is actually slightly curved, I've got to hold this up a little bit. I could very easily read a book, read a newspaper, whatever here at this distance, provided I was looking at it, of course. The no entry sign here is extremely clear. Absolutely phenomenal light, these 7-inch lethal driving light. I am very impressed. I would like to keep going over to the trees over there, which is, I don't know how far that is, it's probably another 400 meters, 500 meters, and just see what it's like. But it goes down into a big gully and I've run out of runway, so this is where we have to stop tonight. Okay, standing here 700 meters at the end of the runway. If I hold my sign up, that is insanely bright. I've just got to say, I can't believe that these lights are actually this bright at this distance. Hold that one up and it's super bright. I've got to hold it up because of the curve of the runway. Now, we have here our giveaway sign, no entry sign. We'll hold that one up a little bit. That is extremely bright here. These are an amazingly super impressive light. I can see the wattle here just behind me, super bright. It's shooting straight across the gully, straight into those trees. I can actually see their trees. It's brighter over there than the lethal driving light was. Super amazing light, but yeah, very, very narrow beam at this distance. Extremely narrow, so you would have to have them aimed dead straight if you're going to use these lights down the road. Okay, so standing here, I've walked off the end of the runway. I'm now going down into the gully, but this is the wattle here. This is probably another 10-15 meters past our 700 meter mark, and you can see the color in it here with these lights. They are absolutely amazing how bright they are. So we're here at 700 meters with the eBay lights. They're actually doing better here than they were a few metres back up the road there. The only thing I can think is that the way they're aimed, we're at a better point here than we were back there. Either they were going below us or just over us, because I'm pretty impressed with them. They're enough to see with. Wouldn't want to drive at this distance by them. I can see the wattle there that I was just showing you in the last ones, and I can see some light over there, but I can't make out the leaves, I can't make out the flowers, but the light is getting here. I could probably read with it. I should have brought a newspaper with me, probably couldn't read it. I would get massive eye strain with it. So there's the review on the lights, up to 700 metres, as far as I can go. Now, just because I can, and I know you guys all want to see it, I've got my radio here. Can we please have all 3 sets of lights on together? Wait for it. And there they are. That's all 3 sets of lights at 700 metres. Super bright, whatever. Have a look back that way. It's like looking at the sun, absolutely blinding. You can see the wattle, you can see the trees in the distance. So if you want something that's insanely bright, put all 3 sets of lights on your car. You'll probably get pulled up for it, I don't know. I wouldn't recommend that. But yeah, have a look back that way. It's like looking at the sun. That's all 3 sets of lights for you. I hope you've enjoyed my review on these lights. Work out what to buy. Make sure you give me a thumbs up, share the video, let other people know about my channel, guys. Get out there 4-wheel driving.